exact action between the two players. I believe the game is ready. Let's go into game number 1 between the two players.
All right, let's see what they want to bring here. Now, JuicyJ made his bread and butter here by playing Sparky and Goblin Giant to get to this tournament, but that hasn't proven to be as strong here because of the prevalence of Lava Hound decks. It's a lot harder to run the Sparky deck if your opponent is running Lava Hound. The Tombstone here from JuicyJ kind of makes you think it might be Lava Hound, but not always.
Yeah, not always. There's some graveyard. We saw a few more Giant Skeleton graveyard coming out even in the semifinals, and it can always happen with the poison. I think there's a lot higher chance now from FMGG.
Yeah, and the Ice Wizard from JuicyJ makes you definitely feel like more like it's going to be that Royal Giant variant we've been seeing with the Tornado as well behind it. But maybe not here, the E-Dragon. We did see a version of the Royal Giant with the E-Dragon, though, the other day.
Yes, and it signals somewhat more of the Golem at the same time. We'll have to see until the very end. If you have the Golem, really, really heavy one. The point is, before that double elixir time, you can't really take too much damage on your tower. But for now, both players playing a little bit soft, a little bit slow, because they're waiting for that big action at the double elixir time.
Right, you don't want to reveal your trump card until you absolutely have to, and it is going to be the Royal Giant here. He's got the pretty healthy E-Dragon here to buy it some time, but there's the Goblin Cage.
And it's going to continue RG, hitting a few shots, knock the Brawlers out with the Rascals. Great Tornado, getting everything together. It's even the E-Drag getting that Chain Lightning into the tower.
Oh, this is huge. That's 5 big shots from the Royal Giant. Make it 6 to bring that tower down to 491.
One attack that did 2,000 damage into the bottom right. That was crucial. Tornado getting everything together near that tower, making sure all the dragons are doing the work. RG was safe. I mean, if that happens once again, FMGG's in trouble. That's going to be tower down if it happens.
And I love the choice of bringing Fireball here as your spell. We've seen a lot of Barbarians and other units that the Fireball is very effective against. And here is a Cannon Cart now. This definitely makes us feel like FMGG is going to be doing Graveyard here.
Yes.
So
kind of tricked it going to the other side, but it's on the left side with that Ice Golem. Few skeletons are connecting, but not really doing too much damage, only 200.
Once again, that Ice Wizard proves to be a very effective unit against the Graveyard. We've seen that a lot here in this tournament so far.
Oh, RG's on its way. Just one more shot. It was going to be tower down, but not close enough. Comes a counter Graveyard now coming up from FMGG.
Oh no, the Goblin Brawler is locked onto the Ice Wizard and takes him down. So a bit of damage being done by these skeletons. The Barbarian Barrel comes in a little bit late, cleans it up, but quite a bit of damage done.
Oh yes, this time the Princess Tower was locked onto another unit. Here comes the RG once again. Cannon Cart to respond. The cage has to come down to defend it.
Just in time. But it won't be too little, too late. That tower is going down. There's only 5 seconds left. The Cannon Cart gets distracted, and this will be game number 1 going to JuicyJ. And it changes FMGG wants to make.
We are not stopping. We are not delaying anything. We're just going straight in. It's game number 2, guys. Already FMGG's got to have a big comeback here. Best of 5 between the two players.
All right, so there is a Musketeer here from FMGG, and once again, the Fireball being brought by JuicyJ. That weakens that Musketeer to the point where anything that touches it will damage it. And here's that Mortar we were talking about earlier from FMGG.
Yeah, here we go. We do have it, and RG's going to take a longer time to take care of it. What follows after those bats were deleted instantly by that Ice Wizard.
All right, a Valkyrie comes down here, a pretty decent counter to the Royal Giant and the Ice Wizard, because you can catch everything that's bunched up behind the Royal Giant. Still gets a few shots in, and the Valkyrie is cleaned up by the Mega Minion.
Yeah, we'll have the Hog coming out. This is what we used against even in group stages, and that's what FMGG was really known for. With that Valkyrie, he's going to go straight into that Tombstone, but what follows after, it's a great Fireball hitting both Hog Rider and the Musketeer in the back.
A sick Fireball there from JuicyJ. JuicyJ just playing the exact same deck, just saying, you have to beat me at my own game, at my best deck, the one that he has been playing throughout this tournament and having a ton of success.
And Fireball is the key here. I think you really pointed that out, and if you're really good at it, if you can hit that Hog and the Musketeer like that at the edge of that Fireball, you're so good at your game.
Right. You get so much value out of that Fireball if you can hit more than one unit with it. And it's just so powerful against units like the Musketeer that just leave with a sliver of health after you hit.
Yeah, that Motor did not really do its part too much. RG still getting a direct shot. Second one comes in. Even the Mega Minion is going to... does not do damage to the Musketeer. But that was still a worthwhile doing some damage because the Motor didn't get any hit, didn't get direct hit to the tower.
And it's a smart change up here by FMGG because he lost some health on that left-hand Princess Tower. Moving over to the right side, you're able to kind of balance the damage between the two. Try to find a way with this mortar to crack the defenses of JuicyJ and try to get that RG to be worthless.
And then after the fireball, surprise attack onto the left with the Valkyrie Hawk just going straight marching in. This is going to be a whole lot of damage on the left.
Yeah, the snowball is coming in as well to knock the units away to give that Hog an extra hit there, so 12-44, but immediately countering with the Royal Giant mortar down for defense to try to distract.
Yeah, has the mortar, even the tornado to get those out of the way. E-Wizard trying to chain and do a lot of damage. RG is still okay, but gets removed by that Valkyrie. Swing at the end. Here comes a Hog once again.
Yeah, some great changes up here, and there is that Earthquake to eliminate that Tombstone. The Hog's gonna come in and get one more swipe, just barely, I believe there. The Barb Barrel tried to get there in time, but it was just a little late.
Yeah, just a little too late, but down to 797, and it's gonna be FMGG really trying to hit that left side for sure. JuicyJ's got that Tombstone, but Earthquake will be a big problem from now on.
And the big change here so far from FMGG is using the mortar purely as defense to set up the Hog for offense. And look at this.
Oh.
It's even getting through and getting one more swing with all those slows and stuns.
I know, slows and stuns, and Tornado was not enough to stop that Hog, and 2 more hits will be GG. So JuicyJ going strong with that fireball this time, getting the mortar out, but bats in the air take no damage from that RG.
It's just too much there with all those bats alive. They do so much damage so fast. Once again, the Earthquake comes down, but a nice tornado here to pull the Hog to the other side.
Lovely tornado at the end. JuicyJ is getting close, but still did take some damage from the Earthquake. You can't stop that Earthquake damage, and you has 2 more minutes for FMGG to chip that down. JuicyJ needs to go for an attack right now.
Right, here comes the fireball. He's trying to find a way in. The mortar desperately placed, but the bats once again doing the dirty work here, taking that RG down before anything can come in.
Yes, exactly 1 more damage onto that tower with that snowball doing 56, and that's a game coming back strong for FMGG with his favorite deck here. We're tied up 1-1 in the best of 5.
So we've seen both of these players now win with their favorite decks that they've been kind of utilizing.
Let's jump into game number 3 directly. We are flying through this finals.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so some different things coming from both players this game. FMGG probably not going to be sticking with the mortar here with the Bandit coming through, and the Goblin Cage is here for JuicyJ on defense.
That Bandit Miner, it might just be FMGG trying that Mega Knight one. Once again on this big stage, he has been using it many times through the group stage, and even in that semifinals, JuicyJ bringing that favorite. The lava is here, and then Inferno's gonna take care of that lava though.
Yeah, we'll see exactly how JuicyJ wants to counter this Inferno Dragon. He's got a baby dragon behind it, but that's not really a ton of damage, and the Inferno has quite a bit of health, actually, deceptively so. Great Mega Minion placement immediately on top of that Miner.
Yeah. Mega Minion came down before the Mega Miner. He was expecting that 100%. Both players just knowing the decks of each other because they have played that before. Guard's perfect tool to go against the Bandit, making sure it doesn't get a dash. But Baby Dragon did get a few hits at the bottom line.
Yeah, those are some big hits there, definitely. And now he's forced to use the Miner on defense. Not an ideal situation with how you want to utilize the Miner. Just didn't have anything else in cycle that he felt comfortable using against those guards.
Yeah, we had this matchup before, depending on how JuicyJ uses that cage and the guards and even the defensive Miner. FMGG might have a chance to dash in or jump in with the potential Mega Knight. It's very likely that he's going to have a similar deck here.
Yeah, you can use Mega Knight, you can use P.E.K.K.A. It kind of depends on what you think your opponent is going to run. But like you said, FMGG has been using Mega Knight, and there it is.
And he's going to switch side because he doesn't want to get bothered by anything else, because the big push has to happen onto the right. And just moving the cards from going to the right to the left.
Yeah, Brawler bought that enough time for the Inferno Dragon to finish off that Mega Knight. Now we've got the Lava Hound push on the right side. Poison coming down here. That's a defensive poison from FMGG. There's a Miner in here as well. The E-Wiz might get cleaned up here, but he has to turn around and fight that Inferno Dragon.
Yeah, perfect placement for E-Wiz, but still a whole lot of damage. 3 more damage from the Baby Dragon, and also the Miner down to 610 now. And JuicyJ, 20-30 left on that top right. What can FMGG do to turn this one around? Mega Knight, okay, he's thinking, okay, I can't really go on the left. It's going to be harder for me to defend when it comes around back to me. It's going to backfire at me, so I got to focus on the right.
Yeah, it's going to be really challenging because JuicyJ can put a lot of beef in front of his Inferno Dragon, so the Mega Knight can get taken down like this.
Even as he uses Zap onto Inferno, but still the Mega Knight does not get to it. Only the Miner, and the Miner to counter on the bottom. Bandit's trying to take it out, but down to 354 already. JuicyJ is working on that final damage with that Poison Cycle. I think he wants to finish it very soon.
Yeah, absolutely. That Bandit placement against that Miner was kind of a big deal. It wasn't the right spot, so that Miner got quite a bit of damage, and it's only one more Poison on the bottom right. This push has to work here for FMGG.
Okay, FMGG needs a perfect zap on that Inferno, making sure that jump does work into the tower. It does not, and that's the Miner, the final Poison on that bottom. JuicyJ is going to take game number 3 of WCG 2019, potentially the final game of the finals.
Yeah, exactly. Could be match point. A Miner comes out right away on the top right-hand corner here on the Princess Tower. Good Mega Minion coming in to limit the damage there, of course. At the beginning of a match, you're not sure if your opponent has Tornado, so you want to put that Miner out on the outer corner of the Princess Tower so the Tornado can't drag it into the King Tower and activate it. But now we're going back to the Goblin Hut. This is another deck that we've seen quite a bit of in this tournament. Most likely there's going to be a Royal Giant with it. There are some other variants, but in this tournament it's been exclusively Royal Giant.
Yes, and especially from JuicyJ too. And as long as you have a good, really good setup with that hut and even with that furnace later on, you have a good backup of spawners just to keep on attacking, and that furnace all the way onto the left to get some damage, splash damage into the minion, but it does not go in at all. There's that Barbarian to defend.
Yeah, the Barbarians come down, but the Zap and a Miner in here. There's a lot of damage being done to that top left Princess Tower. You can see JuicyJ kind of grimacing a little bit. He doesn't have any answers
even
for this.
Even the Dark Prince and the Mega Minion does connect, and that's a tower down. Not even in 1 minute mark. FMGG comes back really, really strong right now, and JuicyJ's in trouble. Even less space to put those Goblin Hut or Furnace. It's got to be all the way in the back now.
Yeah, it's so difficult now for JuicyJ, and FMGG going into the well of decks that have proved successful for him in this tournament. He beat GDH after losing to him in the first game during the group stage with this giant double Prince deck. Going back to it, and already early into this game, making it work.
Oh, has that Furnace, but notice that Dark Prince is going on to the left side. Is that a diversion, or is he going for that King Tower?
Nope, it is just in a spot where it can distract that Dark Prince. Good fireball here from FMGG, cleaning up most of those Barbarians. That Barbarian on the left, low enough that it will definitely not get to the Princess Tower.
Oh yes, having some Spear Goblins are coming down, doing some damage, chipping some damage to the units and the tower now, but still, the Giant will be blocking all those damage, so JuicyJ's got to find the hole right now. There's that RG now.
Yeah, just a Dark Prince here so far. There's a lot of units built up, the Prince on the left as well, so that RG gets dealt with pretty effectively here. A Lightning to clean up some of FMGG's units, and a good fireball though from FMGG to counterpunch.
That fireball takes care of a lot of units into the bridge there. Lightning did come down, but FMGG had that small zap, but still that second shot of RG did go in, but only 20 seconds left in this game. Can JuicyJ make something happen? He's a miracle.
Yeah, it's going to need something crazy to happen here. He needed that Royal Giant to get through. It is probably not with that Prince in the way as well. The Prince does a good job of limiting the damage from the RG. Only one shot will happen, and this looks like it's going to be FMGG's game.
We are going to game number 5, tied up 2-2. The best series, exactly. Potentially final game between FMGG and JuicyJ. Let's see who the champion is.
Yeah, if there's not a tie, if we don't need to have a rematch, this will be match point. Counter bar barrels coming through, an Ice Spirit here from FMGG. What exactly does that indicate? There's quite a bit that can come from the Ice Spirit, whether it be a faster cycle, or it could also be that RG Ice Wiz deck that FMGG as well likes to play.
Exactly what I was thinking at the same time. You beat me to it too. But FMGG did not really play that too many times, but it's in there. It's certainly in there with that quicker cycle, with that ice. Might just switch it up with that graveyard too, so it's a good question. JuicyJ's got a cannon car coming down. Is that the only one, or are we going to see that big rocky unit coming down too?
Yeah, absolutely. This could definitely be the Golem deck here from JuicyJ. It's been his go-to in clutch situations, and it has worked very, very well for him. Let's see if FMGG can counter it. It might not even be Golem, but most likely it is. Occasionally you'll see a Royal Giant with the cannon cart. but that's not as common, especially with an E-Dragon here.
Oh, is he just going back with that E-Dragon? It could just still be some Graveyard coming down from build player. That would be really cool. Graveyard Poison, that's another cool option here. FMGG just waiting, not revealing his win condition card yet, just having everything else cycling out. That Ice Wizard getting rid of that Barbarian. E-Dragon still alive, but goes down.
Could be double Prince Graveyard here for sure. That's definitely a possibility with the cards that we've seen from FMGG. And I think both players playing very cautious here. Of course, this is the most important game. There's a lightning here. Make sure that cannon cart doesn't get anywhere near the bridge and is stuck in defense mode only.
Yeah, he used that lightning because it seemed like UCJ has a golem, and he's not going to play that before a minute mark or like a minute or 5. Yeah, there it is after that lightning. So FMGG goes straight in with that RG. Rush up to the left.
All right, which one will work here? And a Lumberjack is a great counter, but the Bar Barrel coming in here will help deal with that Lumberjack. Another counter Bar Barrel eliminates that Ice Spirit, but the Mega Minion is onto it. Quite a bit of damage done from that Royal Giant push.
All right, 5 shots onto that Princess Tower, but the Golem is 100% HP before he crosses the bridge. Here comes the cannon cart along with it. You got to stop that cart and the Golem together. FMGG's got to have the defense.
Mega Minions countering each other here, having to use the Tornado to back all this up, trying to get everything into the Ice Wizard spray, but he goes down.
This is heavy. Lumberjack's on the tower. It's going down. So much damage on it. That's a tower down. Just takes the first ground.
And this is a huge push. That Golem is pretty weak, though. It does get split up in the Golemites, but you have a perfectly healthy Lumberjack. 2 cannon carts trying to go for the Royal Giant. It's not going to be enough.
That's 3 crowns, and JuicyJ is your champion from WCG 2019.
To come into play here as well. Here we go, though. The game is already underway. Franco on the left of your screen there. He's going to be the top player on the red side. And then we have JuicyJ down on the southern blue side of the map there. And a Furnace as the first card does lead you to believe that this could well be Royal Giant.
Yeah, Franco bringing the Lumberjack and the Mega Minion there. Bar Barrel from JuicyJ. Just make sure that that Lumberjack doesn't get anything done. And we do see a Goblin HUD here from JuicyJ. Interesting.
Yeah, we have seen 1 or 2 Goblin HUDs across the tournament. It's certainly not the most popular card. It's definitely has a niche spot, but the pressure that it does offer in a singular lane, especially alongside a Furnace, can really build up, especially if you can play across both lanes.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. Nothing is getting done, and we see the P.E.K.K.A. from Franco. Is that P.E.K.K.A. going to be any use at all? From what we've seen from JuicyJ, he's not going to have any big targets to go against. But then that depends what else Juicy is bringing.
That's the thing, but we were talking about this Goblin HUD. Obviously, against the P.E.K.K.A., just having lots and lots of small units filtering out to distract is often a fantastic situation to have. Lumberjack is going to be placed to try and deal with this Royal Giant. Barrel comes on down. There's going to be 1 shot going on in. He's going to be able to get a second one as well. Not too much damage, but certainly a decent start coming out. And now,
yeah, beautiful play there by JuicyJ, just to hold on, wait for that P.E.K.K.A. to disappear. He knows it's out of cycle. There's no way he could have it back in hand. Plays that Royal Giant, but now that Franco knows, he's going to be holding on to that P.E.K.K.A. until the Royal Giant goes down.
certainly will.
Or maybe not. P.E.K.K.A. played at the back. Interesting choice here for Franco, because JuicyJ now has a window of opportunity where he can just play that Royal Giant whenever he feels like it.
Yeah, interesting that Franco's willing to go for that aggressive P.E.K.K.A. once again, especially when it didn't work out the first time. Lumberjack in the other lane, though, because he's got a balloon in his mentory. Trying to distract over in the right lane, drops the balloon. It looks like it might connect. Fireball comes out. Lumberjack is going to speed it up. There's a Mega Minion, but the freeze comes out as well. Franco with an unbelievable play here. Does so much damage in the right lane, but now Royal Giant to answer. Lumberjack will be dropped as well, and there's a slow coming out from this Ice Wizard. Only 1 or 2 shots will come out here.
Yeah, but this is still a Baby Dragon, plus 1 more Spear Goblin behind, and then the last of the Furnace. JuicyJ is actually in a lot of trouble right now. That balloon freeze really caught him off guard. I don't think he was expecting that at all.
And we were talking about this yesterday. When you do run a deck like this with freeze, something that is a little bit cheesy, takes your opponent off by surprise, especially in a best of 5, this is a perfect opening deck.
Yeah, something a little bit cheesy just to start off is great for Franco. And again, the P.E.K.K.A. going down the right-hand side for Franco. And the Royal Giant played on the left for JuicyJ. The Bar Barrel comes through. The Baby Dragon's trying to clean up that Lumberjack. Does get it down. Fireball down. just to distract that Ice Wizard, but the beautiful tornado there, bringing everything back, and it looks like this has been well defended.
Yeah, it's going to be well defended, and now the P.E.K.K.A is heading into enemy territory here. Barbarians are going to be there to distract him and be able to DPS him down a good amount as well. Spear Goblin's trying to do some pressure. Another hook goes down, and you can see focus immediately shifted to the left lane here for JuicyJ because he's got to keep that tower alive. 2 minutes 20 left on the clock.
Yeah, JuicyJ's saving grace here is that there isn't exactly a big spell in Franco's deck. He only has Zap, Freeze, and Tornado, and none of that is going to do great damage at the tower. So that 5/7/6 is pretty safe for a long time here. But that balloon shut down by the Mega Minion.
Yeah, absolutely denied that. Another hook comes down along with the finish. This is a lot of pressure in the left lane coming out from JuicyJ. The Ice Wizard is going to be able to do a lot to try and deny it, but it's already built up a lot. P.E.K.K.A is going to be able to get straight onto the Royal Giant, though. We'll get one singular shot in, but that's going to be it. But look at the amount of goblins here.
This is where Spawner decks get incredibly scary. When they can start building up huge pushes like this of just cheap free goblins and then maybe a couple of Fire Spirits, it becomes really hard, but JuicyJ needs to hit a critical mass to be able to go and take that tower. And right now, Franco isn't letting him build that up.
Yeah, honestly, this Ice Wizard has been MVP so far this game. He's had so much value out of these slows, but also in combination with the tornadoes, has been able to do so much work on just removing these goblins.
Freezing the Baby Dragon there, making sure it goes down. The Mega Minion too is going to get a couple of hits in. Does die though. The Lumberjack is going to clean up the Barbarians, and the Royal Giant is played. There is no P.E.K.K.A. Franco throws out the good game. Tornado comes in. Fireball is there. Catches the tower. 7/7/7 remain. Will he be able to defend this? The Mega Minion is there. Baby Dragon played.
Right, one shot
by
in.
Juicy.
There's going to be a second shot as well. 200 HP remaining on that tower. 47 seconds left on the clock. Baby Dragon's there. Lumberjack comes down to block it at the very last second there, but the Baby Dragon's going to change targets in a second. P.E.K.K.A comes down, and somehow Franco is still surviving.
Well, Franco is on a timer now. 2:69 remaining means 2 fireballs will get it done. The balloon comes in for Franco. He will probably freeze. He's not going to risk it. He's going to save the elixir to try and defend whatever's coming. The Ice Wizard is there. The balloon doesn't even get that damage on the tower. The Mega Minion's taking out the Royal Giant. A beautiful tornado again. There's the first fireball. 68 remain. If that Royal Giant can break through.
It's so close, but he's going to go down in the end. The Furnace comes down 9 seconds on the clock. Just anything hitting this tower. A stiff breeze will knock that tower over, but it's not going to happen. 2 seconds. That's going to be the game, and somehow surviving on 68.
What? Between Franco at the top of the screen and JuicyJ in blue at the bottom.
Yeah, the battle of the Americas here. As we've got Argentina up against the USA. And, well, it's going to be the Spear Goblins once again coming out from JuicyJ, the hook there. But this time there's a Poison in the deck for Franco, which, you know, if you're predicting that they're going to play these Goblin hooks again, Poison is definitely a strong card to add to your deck.
Yeah, we do see the Barbarians come down from JuicyJ. Split at the back, 3 on the left, 2 on the right. And it's very interesting to see what Franco is going to be playing here. He does have the Ice Wizard, does have the Mega Minion.
Feels like
still be anything.
It could honestly be a very similar deck. Actually, Dark Prince going to come out here, which, you know, against Barbarians, against Spear Goblins is a pretty fantastic card. So far, things are looking pretty good in terms of the deck compositions, but actually a good amount of damage coming out from the Barbarians in the right lane.
Yeah, that one Barbarian getting to the tower at full health, and it does a lot of damage. Oh. Is this the Giant Skeleton Graveyard deck? Will we be seeing the Graveyard pop down anytime soon? The Baby Dragon are just going to take each other out here. The Giant Skeleton's taking out the Furnace. Barbarian Battle just to shore up, make sure...
He might be able to make it... No. Okay. I thought he might actually be able to make it to tower.
It was a good idea with that tornado to try and drag everything closer to the tower so the Giant Skeleton can move closer. Unfortunately, didn't work out for him there.
Certainly not. So 1 card remaining for each player here. And we'll wait. I'm sure that neither of those is going to be revealed until the perfect situation. You could well be right on that graveyard. We could well see the skeletons coming on out alongside the Giant Skeleton.
Giant Skeleton Graveyard decks, they have to wait for the opportune time. If you play that Graveyard at the wrong moment, you are out instantly.
You're absolutely right. And I'm anticipating probably a Royal Giant coming out here for JuicyJ as well. Obviously, this is a very similar deck to what he played in the first game here. You were absolutely right, though. The Graveyard is going to come into play. Furnace is going to be there along with the Baby Dragon just to deal with that one, though. The Furnace actually staying relatively healthy as well. The Skeletons not focusing that one.
Ooh, and the Dark Prince get
connection.
the charge with that Graveyard that came in. A very successful Graveyard. 1-2-8-8 remain, but does Franco have the tools to defend this? The Fireball from JuicyJ connects with the tower and the Ice Wiz, bringing him down, but I don't think that Baby Dragon is going to get a chance to hit. Perfect defense there by Franco.
Very nicely done. And now look at this AoE cleaving through the Barbarians. Dark Prince is going to be there as well. The barrel is going to delay it slightly, but now we could have another Prince connection. We're going into overtime. Furnace comes down just to block some damage, but he's not going to get too much value out of it. 600 HP.
That Tornado bringing the Baby Dragon that was targeted by the 2 Baby Dragons for Franco, making sure that the splash damage hits onto that tower. Incredible play there by Franco.
Now Ice Wiz comes down as well as a Mega Minion. And look at 1,000 HP advantage in favor of Franco right now. Another Graveyard comes down. Dark Prince getting so much work in onto these Barbarians. Baby Dragon comes down, but it might just be too little too late. That's going to be enough damage from the poison.
That's it. Game over.
What a way to do it.
Incredible play by Franco. The Tornado dragging in the Baby Dragon from
for Franco up against JuicyJ. JuicyJ, one of the favorites from the whole tournament, certainly self-proclaimed favorite, that's for sure. And we'll see if he's going to be able to get back on top in this series.
Yeah, he's going to have to pick up his mental state here, because he has not had many wins recently. He has been losing games. He lost so many games yesterday, and now trailing behind Franco. He's going to have to be iron-minded to be able to come through and win this.
Giant Skeleton going to come down in this left lane for JuicyJ. And honestly, so far, JuicyJ looking like he might be running the very same deck Franco just beat him with. Which is, honestly, I don't know, what do you think about that decision? Because there's a lot of different connotations to making a decision like that.
Well, I mean, for me, it's one of those things where it's like, anything you can do, I can do better.
Yeah.
But I don't know if JuicyJ is going to be able to do that. The Graveyard actually getting a lot of purchase here.
Yeah.
With the Baby Dragon tanking everything up. A Poison coming down as well. Graveyard Poison there. Not doing as... Actually, still going.
It's still pretty great value.
1850.
Got a lot of damage onto the miner as well. Balloon comes out here, though. Mega Minion and an Ice Wizard going to be there. Perfect answer coming out from JuicyJ. The balloon will go down. A little bit of death damage will go through, but not enough for it to be valuable. So far, things actually looking pretty good for JuicyJ.
Yeah, JuicyJ there kind of predicted that there was a possibility of a freeze as like the last card. Hence why he split his Ice Wizard and Mega Minion so far apart. Because if the freeze comes down, at least one of them is still going to be doing damage.
Yeah, one of the most important things about playing around freeze is when you drop your Mega Minion, drop it basically at the bridge, meet that balloon head on. You've got to be ready for that situation, because if you do stack on the tower and a freeze comes out, you lose the game instantly.
Yeah, and again, great damage being done by this Graveyard.
Oh my goodness.
Dark Knight tanking everything up. The poison is there. 688 remaining. JuicyJ really is showing that he could do better than Franco with this deck.
Yeah, honestly, here we go. Minor Balloon in the left lane, though. Ice Wizard is going to come down as well as the Mega Minion. There is a Musketeer, though, DPSing this Mega Minion down. The Balloon is going... No! The Tornado comes out at the very last second, denies the connection, and now Dark Prince going to charge on through onto the Inferno Tower. Gets blocked by the Golem, though.
Yeah, nice catch there with the Ice Golem, meaning that Inferno Tower can sit there a little bit longer, but the Baby Dragon's there to tank the damage. The Skeletons are coming through on this Graveyard again. Is he going to get the same purchase? He is. 4 Skeletons hit the tower. That is
surely game. Wow, what a way to do it coming out from JuicyJ. Importantly as well, the Barbarian Barrel so early from Franco did not deal with enough Skeletons, and that is going to be that one done with JuicyJ evening things lines. We'll have to wait and see. And one of the things is these players, especially players like Franco, are a little bit less known than a lot of your CRL pros, and so there is opportunity that we could see some crazier stuff coming out, some much more creative decks, but look at the damage from the Bandit. What a way to start things off for Franco.
Yeah, Bandit getting that connection there is a huge start. JuicyJ not choosing to try and defend that, just let it go, take the damage, use the health as the resource, and then he'll be able to maybe have an Elixir advantage, but he's behind an Elixir right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one at all, but here we go, Goblin Cage. And I checked it up last night. It is the Goblin Brawler. It says in the flavor text that he is the Goblin Brawler. And he is going to come down and start beating down that miner behind the guards as well. There's going to have an answer right here.
Just about catches that bandit there. Beautiful play. And the Mega Knight from Franco.
We saw him play this deck yesterday. We saw the Mega Knight Bandit combo, the double clash into tower just does insane amounts of damage.
Yeah, it's a really good combo for Franco here. He made it work yesterday. Will he make it work today? The Mega Knight is going to go down. The Electro Wizard trying his hardest to survive here, but does eventually go down as well. And that is a very healthy Goblin Brawler right there. 1 hit, 2 hits off that.
Yeah, and every single one of those hits does a lot of damage. Health just about even at this stage as the miner comes out to support this Mega Minion, but guards will be there to deny all of that damage. Mega Minion will get distracted by the guards in the end. I thought he was going to hit the tower then.
Does get
one hit anyway.
Yeah, it looked as though he was ready to hit the tower and then just changes his target to the last guard remaining.
I like this Mega Knight play right here. Sees the Lava Hound. He's like, okay, you don't have anything to defend right now. Time to go aggressive. If he has Zap in hand right now, he's not going to be able to go for that one. So tower does survive for now, 500 HP, and in comes the Inferno Dragon. Is
Franco going to be able to hold this up? The Inferno Dragon does take out the Lava Hound very, very quickly. But there is a lot remaining. There's a Baby Dragon, Inferno Dragon,
my goodness.
all the pups, the Barbarian, and the Lava Hound. That's just a lot of potential damage coming towards the tower right now.
This is such a massive push. Guards come out as well. A miner to try and counter this pressure. Goblin Cage goes down, but it's not actually going to connect right here. Bandit in the other lane as well. But this honestly could be a game-ending push. We could be looking at a 3-crown. Inferno Dragon is going to be able to block down that damage, though, in the end. Poison will come out. That'll finish the tower in the left lane, but look at this. Crown Tower still in trouble. A miner comes down as well. Finally, this push will be thwarted.
Yeah, JuicyJ here is going for the juggler. It looks like he wants to get that 3-crown, make a statement, and finally decides to kind of switch up the lanes a little bit, do some damage to that Electro Wizard, get some damage on that Mega Minion, and then start to build a push behind this. There is the Lava Hound. There's the Inferno Dragon. There is a Bandit underneath, which does get caught by the Inferno Dragon. The miner going towards the King Tower, not caught out by the Mega Knight, which is what he was trying to do there. It looked like he didn't quite plan that out. And 907, so much damage getting done on that King Tower.
Still surviving though, and now a huge push going from Franco towards his opponent. Let's bear in mind, it doesn't matter about the King Tower if it survives. One tower in any lane will do at this stage. Inferno Dragon's still going to be alive. Bandit going to be there. The miner is going to be tanking this tower as it walks forward. Inferno Dragon will not connect though, and in the end the push is thwarted.
Yeah, but it's looking very, very good for JuicyJ. 651 on that tower, and Franco has to eat through so much HP. 1828 on the lowest tower. JuicyJ is in a lead right now. 2 towers lower than his tower.
A commanding lead at that. These guards going to just deny everything from the likes of Franco. Miner goes onto the back line to pull that Mega Knight away. And in the meantime, the Lava Hound has got onto the tower. There's a Barbarian, a Baby Dragon, and an Inferno Dragon there to deny or to deal this damage on through. Poison actually doing a good amount of work with an Electro Wiz. The push will be finished off, but again, more and more damage seeping through.
Yeah, the E-Wiz there, savior of the day. Everything was about to finish off that tower. E-Wiz comes down, makes them reconnect their targets. Bandit caught by the guards. The Mega Knight too, caught by the guards. He's not going to get anything done onto that tower. The Inferno Dragon taking out the Baby Dragon, and another Mega Knight. But there's a Goblin Cage there to stop that. Miner in the back is going to get a lot of work. The tower does connect to it though.
There's just so much to distract this Mega Knight. The guards have been an absolute MVP here for JuicyJ. Bear in mind, there are only 60 seconds left. JuicyJ has to find a way to end this now, or he won't get the point for this victory.
Yeah, but it's looking as though he might be able to. This Lava Hound's coming through very healthy. The Inferno Dragon is just deciding to target the Lava Hound now. The E-Wiz distracting the Baby Dragon, which was getting ready. But that might be it. The pups connect.
Baby Dragon's distracted, 83 HP remaining, and it's going to go down, but spell cycle range has been reached. We just need to find a poison and the game will end.
Yeah, and he has plenty of time to try and find this poison. He just has to stop any of this damage coming through. And JuicyJ taking his second win, 1 win away from the finals.
And what an intense game to do it in as well.
Yeah, but we are getting into what could be the last game between Franco and Juicy, and it looks as though Franco, once again, opening with the Bandit here.
Yeah, Dark Prince will answer in that right-hand lane, and an E-Wiz to deny his charge. We'll be able to finish that Dark Prince off. Does get one hit onto the E-Wiz.
Not terrible damage. The miner coming through here. The E-Wiz is actually going to get damage onto that. Oh, and a Sparky.
Okay. Things are heating up here. Let's see how this Sparky deck is going to do. Interesting that he would drop a Sparky so early in the game and kind of let his opponent know what he's coming at him.
Yeah, I mean, you always want to drop the Sparky at the back first before the Goblin Giant, right? You want it to be charged up. But it was very early. Look at the timing. And he knew that Franco had the E-Wiz, which is just going to shut that down.
All right, now look at this push. Miner comes in on the back line as well. E-Wiz is going to be the first one to be taken down by the Princess Tower. But
and the Bandit gets the charge. The Bandit charges through.
Goodness. Look
so
at
much
this.
damage.
Mega Minion's still alive as well. He's going to come in and finish this tower off. Massive play coming out from Franco. We could be going to game 5 by the looks of things here. Even damage onto the King Tower at this stage as well. 1,700. With things like a Bandit in this deck, with things like a Miner in this deck, we could see a 3-crown.
Yeah, and the thing is, Franco has the E-Wiz, he has the Zap. He can shut down that Sparky in so many ways that I don't know how JuicyJ is going to come here. How is he going to do this? It's looking like Franco's game.
So far, at least, but let's bear in mind, we've seen crazier comebacks than this one in Clash Royale. And in this tournament, we've seen some pretty crazy comebacks. We've seen some pretty crazy decks. So we still have cards unrevealed at this stage. The Mega Knight is going to come through once again as Franco really relying on this deck doing well. This is certainly a favorite for him. E-Wiz in the back. And we'll have a Zap to deal with the Sparky. But actually, Sparky does get one shot off immediately. It is going to be Zap now. And the Mega Knight jumps on forward. Sparky goes down before he gets another shot off, and now Mega Knight might actually be able to get a jump here. Miner in the back line. We could be looking at 2 towers.
Yeah, it is looking that way, but the Bandit is going to be distracted by the Dark Prince, then charges into the tower. The Mega Minion's there too. This is a lot of damage once again coming through. For Franco, it looks as though he is in complete control of this match, showing that JuicyJ just isn't ready for what he's putting out right now.
JuicyJ just completely out of sorts right now. Drops a Sparky at the bridge just because he needs to do something, anything. He knows that there's only 10 seconds left. This is going to be the game going the way of Franco. We are going to game number 5, and Franco, even after the loss, not deterred from running this deck.
I mean, it's a great deck.
We're going to go to enough about my dreams. This is a dream matchup right here. Game number 5, JuicyJ against Franco. And immediately you see both players leaking elixir. Nobody wants to make a misstep because this is the difference between going into the grand final for 50 grand or going into that 3rd place match with a top prize of 10.
Yeah, so the winner here guarantees at least $20,000 US. At least $20,000 US. The loser can go home with absolutely nothing but memories of coming to Xi'an, China, playing at WCG. It's a possibility for the loser here.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, Xi'an's amazing. Been and seen the Terracotta Warriors here. Like, this is an incredibly historic site in China. But ultimately, these players aren't here for a holiday. They're not here because they wanted to come on a jolly holiday to Xi'an. They're here because they want to win that grand prize. They want to be WCG 2019 champion. And we'll see which one is going to have the opportunity and the privilege to step up onto that main stage later today.
Yeah, we were talking earlier that like JuicyJ and none of the other players really play this slow one-push style that Tauki played yesterday. And now look at what we're watching. We're watching both players go down to that double elixir mark where one push will decide everything.
And it's a risky game to play because, once again, we've been talking about how this is blind pick. You don't know what your opponent is up against. The first 3 minutes of the game before overtime kicks off quite often is used to scout your opponent out, right? You use as little as you can and try and pull as much of an answer out of your opponent as you can. Try and find out what their win condition is so you can play around it. But in these situations, one late game mistake when you don't quite read your opponent's deck correctly can decide everything.
All right, so the Golem coming down for JuicyJ. Franco just holding on to the Ice Wizard. So it looks like Franco isn't going to be doing this one-push style that JuicyJ is doing. And we see the Golem, Cannon card. This deck is so good. for a Golem player. The E-Drag as well with the Dark Prince and the Great Dog coming down the left-hand side. This is dangerous. So much elixir for JuicyJ has been spent on the raid. Is he going to be able to defend this? The answer is yes, perfectly defended.
Absolutely beautiful defense coming out right there. The Skeleton is going to be able to do a lot to just deny this. The Cannon Cart, I think, is maybe going to get in tower range anyway. Giant Skeleton actually played at the bridge here, and the E-Dragon will eventually go down to this tower. The Skeleton will be distracted by Cannon Cart on the other side. Barbarian connects on the left.
Look at the Barbarian on the left. 14.99, that's a huge lead right now for JuicyJ. And the cannon
actually is in range. 1,000 HP remaining on that tower. Dark Prince going to connect to the Golem, but it's actually incredibly fast moving through this lane. The Lumberjack going to push it on forwards as well. Nice Tornado to push it on back. The Baby Dragon will go down though here. Doesn't finish off the Lumberjack. The Giant Skeleton just being pushed back. He cannot hold the wave of enemies pushing on forwards. Down to 1,000 HP, 800 HP as the Golems explode. Mega Minion pushing forward. The Enrage is there as well. This is so much damage.
Yeah, it's looking as though this Golem push is finally starting to get through the cannon.
Ooh.
Has to be Tornado, but it still gets the hits. That's it.
Oh my goodness.
JuicyJ taking the game in.
What an explosive way for that series. There is so much between decks. We're jumping into game though. It's going to be JuicyJ on the top side of your screen. Franco at the bottom there as the Rascals come out to try and defend against the Wizard and against this Mega Minion.
Yeah, the Dark Prince played at the back is going to start charging down the left-hand lane. But it's kind of difficult to see what kind of decks they're playing right now. It does look like Franco may be playing Mortar. I'm not sure. But the Barbed Barrel comes out. There's a Miner, defensive Miner to try and stop that Dark Prince charge there. And the Ice Spirit played at the back with the Ice Wizard following just behind it.
Yeah, it's getting cold up on the top side of this map. The bat's just going to be dropped just to cycle some cards here for the side of Franco. And we'll soon have the kind of win conditions for these two players revealed as the next few cards are played. Rascal's going to be dropped once again. And both players really holding their cards close to their chest here. They don't want to give away what the win condition is, but that Fireball is a bit of a tell.
Yeah, it is, but I don't know what's going to happen here. It's really hard to try and gauge who is going to be on top in this match. Like, and there's a Miner balloon. Does he have anything? Does JuicyJ have anything to stop this balloon? It is getting dangerously close to that tower. Is he going to be able to hit it?
Oh, beautiful Whirlwind comes out. The Tornado there to stop things. The Ice Wizard in combination, the slow is going to be just about enough. A tiny bit of a tag with the bomb, but certainly nowhere near what he was hoping for.
Yeah, so the death damage does get dealt to the tower there. And a little bit of an advantage here. I would say for JuicyJ, he's done a bit more damage overall, but both players are neck and neck in terms of elixir here.
Yeah, and that win condition has been revealed now as well for Franco. So JuicyJ knows what he's up against at this stage. He's able to play around the fact that that balloon is going to come down once again, and he needs to be ready for it.
Yeah, so he's going to wait to use that Mega Minion against the balloon. Probably the Tornado and the Ice Wiz will come out right about now. The Ice Wiz played at the back. The Barb is going to get, so close to getting hit.
This is a big push.
The Mega Minion does target the balloon. The balloon, that death damage is going to go absolutely nowhere. And we do see the Dark Prince reloaded on the back here for JuicyJ.
Yeah, so once again, there was a bit of chip damage coming on through onto JuicyJ's tower, but now the Royal Giant will be dropped. Inferno Tower, though, comes out, the final card of the deck. That is going to make short work of this Royal Giant. Maybe one shot will go in, though. Does get that singular tag. The Barbarian will go down. Now Dark Prince pushing on forwards. Miner there to block the damage.
Yep, perfect block there with the Miner. Had to use what little elixir he had there to try and stop that. But the Inferno Tower, excellent choice here for Franco. Just making sure that Royal Giant doesn't get too much damage in, because it's such a card. It's one of those cards that's just so difficult to deal with at times.
Yeah, it really is. And now you can see both players have been leaking so much elixir over the last few turns because nobody wants to misplay a card. It's better to hold on and not burn something that will be so useful later on. Mega Minion comes down to try and defend against the balloon.
Yeah, the Mega Minion takes on the Miner first. We see the Tornado getting rid of the Bats and the Rascal. This balloon is not going to get anywhere near that tower. And the Royal Giant coming down from JuicyJ. Throws out the Barbed Barrel. Perfect. He was baiting for that Inferno Tower. Knew it was going to come down. Beautiful, beautiful prediction there by JuicyJ, making sure that Barbed Barrel does connect and does get one hit on the Royal Giant. and every little is going to matter at this point. Will he be able to finish it off? That's the question, though.
That is going to be the question. We've got 2 minutes left in this overtime. JuicyJ winning out these trades. You can see in overall tower health, he is ahead, but he's got to be able to finish one of these off.
Yeah, and he uses the tornado here against the miner. That opens it up for Franco to maybe use that balloon and just get a lot of damage. The Inferno Tower comes down. It does actually connect on the Dark Prince, which means the Royal Giant is going to be very healthy coming through. 2 shots, and the Bats tried to clean it up. The Ice Wizard was trying to get them, but he's going to get through. So much damage here being done by JuicyJ. Is he going to be able to finish it up? The Ice Wizard's going to get 1, maybe 2. No, just the 1, and a defensive miner played there. Interesting.
Yeah, interesting miner placement there. The Whirlwind will be back on circulation once again. Inferno Tower comes down against the Dark Prince. The Royal Giant is going to be tagging that up, but he'll go down, and now maybe the opportunity for the counter push. We need to see something come out from Franco, because honestly, it feels like if this keeps going the way it's going, JuicyJ might have this one down. Yeah,
Franco is on the back foot. He hasn't really had much chance to get a good push going with that balloon, with the Rascals, because this Royal Giant pressure is just so incredible. Down comes the Inferno Tower again. This time does connect straight away onto that Royal Giant, which means he should be able to clean this up. But look at that. The Bar Barrel coming in, and now it's 2 Dark Princes. The Mega Minion gets cleaned up. The Bats are going to try to do what they can for Franco here. Is this Prince? Oh, beautiful miner. But he is on such a back foot here.
Yeah, but look how quickly we're able to see the cycle from Franco. He's able to defend so much against these princes. They're just not able to get through. But this Royal Giant has been such a difficulty. The pressure that's coming out from JuicyJ. Once again, the Inferno Tower will block this. But there's a fireball hitting every single time this cycles.
Yeah, JuicyJ is down into the fireball cycle range to finish this match up. So we're going to start seeing him throw out those fireballs a little bit more regularly than he was at the beginning of the game. We see the Royal Giant there on the Inferno Tower. Dark Prince trying to just clean up whatever he's trying to push through, but the Ice Golem goes down. The miner probably going to fall here. He's just going to... Oh!
That's going to be a tie.
And that's it. It's a tie. So we're going to get a regame, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's the case. All right, what a way to start a series as well. Incredible. Someone with a surprise strategy. But there we go. We do have the cage coming on out, which is a little bit more expected in the current meta.
Yeah, this is probably going to be the Lava Hound deck from JuicyJ. And we do join in about 30 seconds after, but the players are just feeling each other out. And beautiful Bar Barrel there to distract the Goblin. The Goblin's going to go down. We have Rascals again for Franco. So this does look like it's going to be a repeat deck for Franco, but JuicyJ is bringing a very different deck here.
Yeah, changing things up dramatically as the poison comes out. And the guard's going to be there just to deny this Rascal getting any damage down. Mine are going to come in just to escort the guards over towards the tower. We're getting a couple of hits in, but the Bats should make short work of these guards. So far, things relatively even, but the Loon comes out, another miner. The cage is going to be there.
Yeah, the cage, beautiful distraction for JuicyJ. Just take that down.
Oh,
the Baby
I
Dragon.
think we might get hits anyway.
He's going to get a hit. 1.
Look at the damage. This might be 2 hits. This is absolutely huge for Franco. That's already a tower going down. JuicyJ falling behind.
Yeah, I mean, what does he have here to kind of slow down that balloon? He had the Baby Dragon, the Goblin Cage just disintegrated instantly, and he doesn't really have any other anti-air in his deck to help deal with that balloon, so he's going to find it kind of difficult here. Next time the balloon goes down for Franco, will he be able to defend it again? I just don't think he can.
Yeah, this is going to become a very quick, tough game here. Franco drops the Inferno Tower incredibly early there. I think it will just about... It'll got a good amount of damage down, but actually the Lava Hound's still surviving a little bit. The Bats are going to be able to finish off in the end. That Dragon is not going to be there in time to be able to protect it from the Bats, and that's going to be well defended there by Franco in the end.
Yeah, and the Bats are going to take out this Baby Dragon here with the Barbarian there, distracting him.
There's some high-value Bats right there.
So much elixir for Franco here. He is in full control. There's the Inferno Tower, and it connects straight away onto that Lava Hound, popping it almost instantly. The good thing is for JuicyJ, he does get some poison value taking out the back lines. Is he going to be able to get purchased with this Inferno Dragon? With the Rascals coming out, it doesn't look defensive miner against the offensive miner for JuicyJ. Wonderful defense here for Franco, barely taking any damage from these Lava Hounds.
Yeah, and we were talking about this deck before the game, this double dragon deck with the Lava Hound. This is a masterclass on how to defend against these kind of pushes. Obviously, that was the Golem version. This is going to be the minor version with the Lava Hound, but the balloon, just that singular push, the cage nowhere near enough to defend against the balloon push. And, well, that's
going to be bringing, as you see, Franco is one up against JuicyJ. So JuicyJ in red at the top, and Franco in blue at the bottom of the screen.
So the Rascals coming out once again for Franco. He might just be sticking with this same deck 3 games in a row. The Dark Prince, though, we could actually be looking... Oh, no, here we go. Never mind. Royal Hogs come out.
Yeah, good fireball there from JuicyJ, making sure those Hogs don't get too much damage onto the tower. The Rascal Girl is going to go down without getting a shot in. The Ice Wizard here is going to try to do the same to the other Rascal Girl and succeeds.
Yeah.
Interesting. Hogs at this point in 1v1. I mean, we see them very rarely in 1v1.
And we actually saw some Hogs coming out during the European qualifiers in Athens, and it was a strange deck that we saw coming out. But actually, the pressure that you can put on, they only cost 5 elixir, which is a decent investment, but also you have to invest a lot to defend against them. And even when people spend elixir defending against them, quite often they get the chip damage in regardless. There's at least a few hits coming in from the Hogs, and that's where they really bring it down.
And this is where they really shine, when you can just switch from right to left the whole time. Never really giving your opponent a chance to set up in a lane and just slowly start picking away. The Hogs are an incredible card to bring in here, and Franco does not look happy.
He's not, even though he's been getting these chips in, even though he started off actually okay, he's getting frustrated. He is 1-0 up in the series, so he should be able to keep his cool for now at least. But I mean, we've seen creative use of emotes across the course of the tournament so far, and especially in the Invitational as well. I'm curious if that's going to be a theme of today, as one of the Rascals just gets eliminated, but that's going to be a fireball down. Mortar comes into play as well. Royal Hogs will be in rotation soon, but that's going to be a Royal Giant in the right lane, sorry. I don't know what there is to defend against this.
He doesn't seem to have much. He does throw down Rascals here. He does have the Archers slowly going to pick away. But this is a deck I've seen so much being played, especially in CRL. The Rascal Mortals, the Rascal Mortar, that just does so well, and actually flubs the rocket there, trying to get a little bit of extra damage. But now, what is he going to do to defend here? There is the mortar that does distract the Royal Giant. Is he going to have enough here to be able to take it down? The answer is no. Has to throw down another set of archers, but they're going for the Barbarian. And the Royal Giant, oh my goodness, so much damage getting done there.
800 HP remaining, and Franco is starting to fall drastically behind here. Ice Wiz is going to be there to deny any damage from these archers. The Rascals come down once again. Royal Hogs go down into the left lane. Dark Prince now going to be here, as well as a Barbarian Barrel, as this push is starting to build up on the right-hand side here for Juicy. Barbarian Barrel will stop the Dark Prince pushing on forwards. Archers come down, but there is the Royal Giant. Mortar has to be here to defend right now. Drops it right in front of the Giant, but 1 or 2 hits is going to be such a huge difference maker. Still 2.5 minutes on the clock right now.
Yeah, Franco there was hoping that he could get a mortar hit on the right-hand side tower, but these Hogs actually didn't get fireballed this time. A lot of damage being done. 15-26 remain on that top left-hand tower.
Yeah, fantastic stuff coming out from Franco. Maybe there's a chance that he can pull this one back if he can defend against these Royal Giants like he just did in that last push. Maybe there's still a chance for him to take this series 2-0. The Rascals now pushing up in both lanes. Snowball comes down just to slow down that Dark Prince, but he is going to still connect onto the Mega Rascal.
Yeah, it does seem as though Franco has found his defensive cycle against this deck, and maybe he can slowly chip away, but there is only 1 minute and 45 seconds left. And the one thing that mortar decks do incredibly well, if they're behind, they can just hold the game to a tie.
Yeah, that's often the case here, and that'll be very, very difficult for JuicyJ if 2 games in a series, both of them with him at the helm, go into tie situations. It's very difficult to maintain your mentality at that stage in a series.
Yeah, your composure is really tested, and that is the mettle of any player who wants to make a name for themselves. How well can you deal under pressure? And right now it's looking like JuicyJ is doing really well at applying the pressure, but when the pressure comes to him, he hasn't been that great at it. But Franco is just absorbing push after push, and the mortar is going to come down to distract right at the last minute again here. And such good play. The fireball does come down.
Here he goes. One hit will go in for sure. Maybe a second one here. He's going to be slow. Does get a second hit in. 300 HP. We're starting to get into spell cycle range here. Dark Prince is going to start to charge. Doesn't quite get the hits in there. The Rascals will drop.
The 2 fireballs will finish this here for JuicyJ. So will he be able to manage that cycle without dying first? It looks like he's trying to get into that zone where he can fireball. There's the Royal Giant. Fireball's got to be coming soon.
Water comes on down. Dark Prince is going to be behind here along with that Ice Wizard. Royal Giant does drop in the end, as does the Dark Prince. So the push is thwarted. 10 seconds remaining. He needs to be able to find that fireball in the cycle. Whirlwind comes out for the first time in the entire game. 3 seconds remaining. The fireball comes on in. It's just in time. JuicyJ takes the game.
Talk about leaving that to the last second.
That's what you call a buzzer beater right there.
That was Jay and Franco. Let's see how it goes here. This should be good. And both players now just waiting it out.
Yeah, the classic standoff here.
What's the longest standoff you've ever seen in Clash?
I'm trying to think.
I've seen a 3.5-minute standoff.
Really?
Yeah. It goes into overtime. It's still they're just emoting each other.
I've never seen one go into overtime. I've seen some pretty long ones, a couple of minutes. I've never quite seen an overtime one.
Well, anyway, here we go. We do have the Lava Hound and the Baby Dragon for Franco here. And it does look... It's hard to see what's coming in the archers. And there is the Royal Furnace. There is the Furnace.
Well,
but look at this. So much damage getting done. The Dark Prince is there. Everything is just going wrong here.
Is this going to be a tower? What a way to start the game here for Franco. One more shot is going to finish that one off. Franco to a flying start right here. And JuicyJ already against the ropes within under a minute and a half.
What happened there? It looked as though he was going to deal with it. Then the furnace placement was a bit questionable because it was in the middle of everything. And then the tower just goes down. Once that was gone, that's 4 elixir he could have used possibly to try and defend with something else.
And now it.
Beautiful Nado there, pulling away that Inferno Dragon. But my goodness, that Inferno Dragon has bloodlust going after that P.E.K.K.A.
He did. What do you say to that? That feels like every ladder game I play Tornado on. The units just have a mind of their own. They've decided that he wants to take on that P.E.K.K.A. and well, I mean, more power to him. He's going to be able to take it down in the end. That's going to be so frustrating for JuicyJ as well.
I mean, he should have realized that was going to happen because the P.E.K.K.A. was the closest target for that Inferno Dragon to try and go towards. But I don't think he was expecting it to go as quickly towards it. Maybe, you know, fly a little bit closer to the middle before going there. But Poison comes down, does take out the Tombstone, the Skeleton's there, but the Inferno Dragon and the Lava Hound here are going to be able to take it. Tries to Tornado, and again, look at the bloodlust on that Inferno
This
Dragon.
P.E.K.K.A.'s going to connect. Oh, Graveyard at the very last split second there. The P.E.K.K.A.'s denied.
Yeah, and it doesn't look as though Franco's going to get a similar push this time round. No success on this push, but still his defense is looking good. There are 10 seconds, and I don't know what JuicyJ could do. He needs a miracle to finish the tower here. Nothing can do that much damage.
What a performance, though, coming out from Franco right here. Everyone was saying JuicyJ was the favorite coming in. JuicyJ himself saying he's gunning for first seed. He's gunning for the win in the whole tournament. For Franco coming out of the woodwork here.